Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. In today's video I am going to be doing a how did they do that recreation set using these tips, and I've got some gels and an ink from Natalie along with one of their embossing gels, so I'm going to be using those. I've also got some pink chrome from Nail Sugar which we're going to be using, and the tips. So I'm going to start off by applying my first coat of white gel polish. So I'm using Saltstone. This is Nalchemy's white gel polish. I'm going to apply one coat to all 4 tips. So I'm going to show you the set of nails that I wanted to try. It's this one. So in this video they only showed 4 nails, so I'm only going to do the set of 4. So I'm going in on those 4 nails now with my first coat of white. Now I'm going to apply my second coat of white. Nalchemy gel polishes cure in an LED lamp for 30 seconds. So I'm going to cure them for 30 seconds. And then, to the first nail, I'm going to be using Nalchemy's non-wipe top coat and the pink chrome from Nail Sugar. So when you're using a chrome, this is going to go, well, this chrome goes over a non-wipe top coat. Now when you put the non-wipe top coat on, you want to make sure it's all smooth like this, with no lumps or bumps, because when you go and put that chrome over the top, it's gonna, honestly, it's not forgiving. You're gonna see little lumps and bumps. So I'm gonna cure that top coat in the lamp for 30 seconds, and then once it's cured, as soon as I've taken it out of the lamp, I'm using my finger to rub some of that pink chrome into that non-wipe top coat, and look how easily this applies. It goes on beautifully. I'm gonna brush off any excess pigment, chrome, sorry. You can see a little bit on that tacky layer there, but we can just wipe that off with some isopropyl alcohol in a minute. Over the chrome now, I'm gonna seal that in now with some of the non-wipe top coat. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh, I love it. It's so nice. So I'm gonna cure that now. Then we're gonna move on to this nail. So I'm gonna use the metallic ink, and we're using the pink one. Give the bottle a shake before you use the metallic ink, because the silver likes to set at the bottom of the bottle. And I like to apply my inks onto a matte surface, so you can either buff it, or I'm using Nalchemy's Velvet Matte Top Coat. I've got some acetone here ready, so I've just shaken it up to blend the silver of the metallic part of the ink settles at the bottom. So give it a shake, and then I'm gonna apply that over my nail. I'm not going to go too mad, because I don't want, although having said that, I don't know, you can, I don't know, I love inks at the moment. I just love them. Nalchemy don't have a normal pink ink, I don't think, or if they do, I don't have it, which is why I'm using the metallic one. I'll have to check their website actually. I just thought it was weird they don't have a pink one. Oops, what have I knocked over? So I'm using an old brush. This was actually an acrylic brush. And I'm going to use this. I'm dipping it into my acetone, and I am then working it. You want to make sure you dab a little bit of the excess off onto the paper towel before you go into the nail, otherwise it will flood it with acetone, and you don't really want to do that. And then I literally just fiddle about with the ink and the acetone until I'm happy with the look that I get. And if you want to, if you feel like you've taken off too much ink, you can always go back into the nail. Like there, I was like, oh, I've taken too much off now, I want to go in with just a little, although I didn't have to really, but then yeah, then I was like there, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's too much gone. So I do in a minute go back in with a little bit of ink. There we go. And I'm just going to work at that again. And then the good thing about the inks is they do air dry within seconds. I mean, I find that if I'd done this on a shiny, I also find, yeah, this is another thing. When I come to top coat them, I find that if I'd done this on a non-wipe top coat, I find they're more likely to smudge when I come to top coat them. Whereas now that I've done them on a velvet matte base, they don't smudge. And in fact, they've never smudged at all. I'm going to go over with Velvet Matte because I want this nail to be velvet. Sorry, I want it to be matte. You can leave it shiny. If you left it shiny, it would look like that. You're also going to need some of these rose gold caviar beads, which I forgot to show you at the beginning. You can get them cheap from like AliExpress and stuff like that, eBay. I love the marble nail. Oh, this is Nalchemy's black embossing gel. I'm going to use this to create the word love. So I'm going to be using this is what it looks like. This cures with a non-tacky layer. So you can use this on a finished nail. If you want more of I'm going to put this on the finished nail. So it's going to give the nail a little bit of texture. You're going to feel it. Like, if you run your finger over the nail, you're going to feel the word love is it's embossed. It's going to be sticking up a little bit. If you don't want that, you can go over the nail with your artisan gel paints before you top coat, and then you can top coat, and it will leave the nail flat. So it depends what you want to do. I thought I'd use the embossing gel. I'm always using the artisan gel paints. I love them. But I thought for a change we'd use the embossing gel. So I looked at the set of nails that I wanted to recreate, and I literally just copied how she'd written the word love, and it's all joined up. And then what I do is the beginning of the nail and the end of the nail. So I use the marble to connect the word through the nail. I hope this makes sense. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to let you watch this bit for a minute. Right, so now I've finished the nail, I'm going to just make the E part of the marble. It didn't actually work very well, but I'm going to see what I'm doing here. That L is going to come off into the marble. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Then using the embossing gel, I'm going to add some little hearts. So I'm just going to put like 2 little dots and then make a triangle at the bottom. And I'm going to do 2 or 3 of those each side of the word love. And then once I've done that, I'm going to add some little dots because it looks like she's added little dots as well. Okay, and then once I'm happy, I will cure this in the lamp. I cure it for 60 seconds, depends on how thick you put it on, but it needs between 30 and 60 seconds, but just to be on the safe side, I keep it in there for 60 seconds. And excuse my nails, as always, they're looking mank. I'm sure I'm going to get some comments at some point about how bad they look. So for the other nails, I took the chrome pigment that had got onto that tacky layer. I've just wiped that off with some isopropyl alcohol, and now I'm going over with some velvet matte. Cured it in the lamp for 30 seconds, and then on this I'm going to use Cherry Blossom, which is this really cute pink. And if you've got a palette, use your palette. I, as always, am using the bottom of my glitter tray because I don't know why the palette's right next to me in the drawers. I just can't be bothered to get it out. I'm so lazy. You're going to need some clear acrylic. I'm using Nalchemy's Genesis acrylic powder in the colour, it's not really a colour, in Crystal, which is their clear. I'm going to recreate that pattern that she done on her 2 nails, but I don't do it exactly because I can't remember. I haven't looked at the nails actually for a little while. Anyway, the nails shape's not quite the same size and stuff, so I couldn't get the entire pattern on, but I'm going to copy it as close to it as possible as I could, starting with the hearts. So I'm starting from that, and I want to make it all nice and I wanted to make it symmetrical. I was going to say I want to make it symmetry. What? I want to make it symmetrical, so I'm just going to start by making the heart in the middle the same size. Okay. Not going to cure that. Once I'm happy, I'm going to sprinkle that wet uncured gel polish with some clear acrylic, and then I'm going to cure it in the lamp for just a little bit longer than the recommended curing time. And then because we've sprinkled it over with the clear acrylic, it's going to give it a matte look. I got hair on it already. Blooming heck. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue with the pattern, continue drawing on that pattern. I usually do, or I did do in this case, I done sections at a time, because if I done this bit and then I decided, right, I'm going to do another bit, if I made a mistake, I couldn't really wipe it off. But if I do little bits at a time, because I've cured that inner heart section, if I need to wipe this heart, you know, if I need to wipe a bit off, I'm not going to ruin what I've already done. So that next line now, I'm obviously sprinkling because I'm happy with that. Wipe off the acrylic once you've cured it, and then just move on to the next section of your pattern. So you can see I've repeated the same thing on the other nail so that it matches. I wanted to as well, you can make the two white nails I matte top coated. You can not matte top coat them, you can just use a non-white top coat and have it shiny, but it's so much easier to paint on a buffed or matte surface than it is a shiny one. I just feel like you have a little bit more control over the gel. So now I'm happy with that. I'm not curing, I'm sprinkling over with some clear acrylic, and then I will cure for a little bit longer than the recommended curing times. Okay, I've brushed off the acrylic. Now I'm just going to carry on the pattern. So I'm just going to let you watch this, otherwise we'll be here for ages. I'll probably fast forward it a little bit. So yeah, so enjoy, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle the last lot of acrylic on this now over the uncured gel polish. I'll cure for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to repeat everything on the other nail. Okay, so I'm going to do it on the other nail now, but off camera, because otherwise we'll be here forever again. We don't want to be here for too long. Now, this is where we need the rose gold micro beads. I was going to call them crystals, they're not micro crystals. And they're going to go through that heart that we created. And I'm going to apply them using Natalie Crystal Totalist Gem Glue. It looks cloudy, but it actually clears. It actually cures clear, see-through, transparent. God knows what I was thinking here. I was trying to put the gem glue on using this bloody great big dotting tool. It ended up looking super messy. So I'm going to pick the beads up using that dotting tool and try and put them in the glue, gem glue. It's actually a UV LED curing gem glue. So it's not going to set on you until you pop it in the lamp. So I'm just going to fill that up, and then I'm going to just neaten up the row of micro beads because they look super messy. And then I'm going to cure it in the lamp. And I'm going to do the next one slightly different. I'm using my Natalie Mugridge Nail Sugar nail art brush to put the glue on, because it's going to make it look a lot more neat. And then I'm going to repeat the same process. Then these were from Nail Sugar. Nail Sugar haven't got any crystals at the moment. Karen is going to be getting some in very soon. Like loads of new yummy crystals. I can't wait for her to get them in. So I'm putting the gem glue on this nail where I want the crystals to go. I'm just going to try and repeat the pattern on that original, on the original set. So everywhere I want to put a crystal, I'm going to put a little bit of gem glue. Probably should have done it. I don't know, actually. Yeah. Ignore me, I'm talking to myself. So it kind of just is more at the cuticle, and then they kind of start to separate down the nail. There we go. I'm going to pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds. And I've put some also on that love nail as well, because there was such, you put a couple of little ones on there. So that is the finished set. I hope you found it useful. I'll leave the Instagram link to the ladies that done this set originally in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you beautiful lot tomorrow. Yay!